What's up everyone, it's Paul and LaFon bringing you another Overwatch League recap video. The Florida Mayhem are currently atop the leaderboard going into the May tournament. And with the Justice seemingly in scrambles, this should be their ticket to a #1 seed.
Meanwhile, Washington are leaving whatever new pickups they get until literally the last moment. Without much practice, expect Florida to dunk all over the floundering Atlantic squad.
Mayhem getting very close to death's door, still in control so far, but BQB's been hurting for health for a long time. The Justice seizing the opportunity to take control of the point, but they go a little bit too far. Fate catches Tuba with a fire strike, and now the Mayhem trying to take the fight towards Justice. Stymied a bit by the Immortality field, but now it's gone, and so is Aim God and Arc. And the Mayhem, really disciplined stuff to turn this fight around.
Yeah, what a crazy fight there. Point flipping.
Mayhem continuing to hold all the while. There's the Flux, there's the Shatter.
Washington Justice, they're poking, they're prodding, but there's absolutely no weaknesses for the Mayhem, and they get one pick and they instantly charge in and finish the fight. Control taking up past 80%, and we're going to be soon, this is final fight territory now for the Justice. If they don't get
fishing, but no one's biting. The Mayhem are just playing very calm and composed on the point, and Stitch gets caught immediately. The Mayhem with 2 early pickoffs, they can just run at the Justice now. This will be round 1 for Florida in a very dominant fashion.
Yeah, nice amp matrix from Gangnam Jim, buffs the damage from BQB's Reaper and Yaki's charged up right clicks, and that just gets some quick pickoffs. No real chance for the Justice there. I think
this time around, Jim.
Huge switch up for the Florida Mayhem, and a quick hack onto Aim God. He's dropping low. Any follow-up at all? Yes, he gets in. 2 pickoffs for the Mayhem. What tracking from BQB?
That is not something that should happen. Tuba just gets ripped out of the sky by BQB on the Sombra, but Arc says, you know what, this fight's not over just yet. Have a taste of the ground. But I'm not sure that's going to be enough. Yaki picking up where BQB left off. The DPS for the Mayhem are off the chain.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge pickoff from Arc.
Justice, do the beat in reserve. Gonna have to use it soon. The Justice getting very low. Stitch falls, and Arc doesn't even have a chance to drop the beat. I mean, luckily for the Justice, they save it, but this has been very one-sided.
Yeah, if the series keeps going this way, Chris is just going to have the sound barrier ready, and if you beat in aggressively, BQB's just going to drop the EMP on your head. But he's going to go even earlier than that.
Yeah, he's never going to wait. Drops EMP early, but Yaki ends up falling, trying to follow through. Arc's beat, perhaps doing enough. Coming out just a little bit after, but Tuba gets caught. Taken down by Gangnam Jin.
Stitch.
Gargoyle gets the bomb right on top. The Mayhem just looking so good, even when they get in firm control. They drop the beat early on Roar. Having to drop around to stay alive. Janu, though, out of the fight already. D-Macked down. The Mayhem continuing to hold strong, and even with Fate out of the fight, it's going to be a tough task for the Justice to bring back. The Mayhem still in full control on the point as overtime starts to tick down, and this should be just about it. And ooh, when you duplicate the McCree just to make a point, Yaki popping off at the end, and that's going to be the Mayhem with an incredibly dominant map 1.
I actually love it. That's a
Finding for Justice, Roar is still alive, doesn't fully get caught, so they do have a re-engage opportunity, but now the Mayhem that brought to point.
Huge.
Ione, though, from downtown, Gangnam Jin puts the Justice on top. That was a brilliant Bionade, and exactly what the Justice needed.
Yeah, it was a nade from Aim God that from high ground. He did a great job. He's gonna have his self-destruct here, so he's gonna be able to get really aggressive without much fear. Stitch running, but he does have Bob to buy time. Perfect use of the Bob, gets him out of trouble, blocks the door. Wow, great use of the Winston, comboing up with the Bob. So nice bait by Stitch, kind of tricks the man to chase him down and punishes heavily with his ultimate.
And the Justice, Roar still very much in the fight, gets slept right after. Roar getting isolated, it's still alive. The Justice at full 6, they're able to find Yaki, and now the Justice have the opportunity to roar back in. BQB out of the fight, and the Justice survive.
What a perfect movement by Roar. The flashbang comes in onto Tuba. Looks like he's going to fall, but Roar's Prime will disrupt BQB's aim, and he's not able to continue the pickoff. So Justice steamrolling toward a full hold here. That was Mayhem's heavy commitment. That was where they
now sticky bombs in his face. Now Mayhem to go back over the Justice. They find BQB and Chris, and the Justice just hold back. They don't give the Mayhem any openings, and the Justice on the verge of a point A hold here on Hanamura. This has been phenomenal.
Map win streak is not broken yet for the Florida Mayhem, but they're certainly looking like it's going to go in that direction. Just way too many ultimates here on the side of the defense. I think if Mayhem were going to win this, it was going to be in the last fight, not this one. This was a much tougher fight than the previous. But once again, the Winston D.Va is just so much better.
Is gone, to say the least of their potential odds here in the series. Justice. Now. Ooh, Bionade coming in. This time, actually from Gangnam Jin, hits more. And Mayhem just rush right in.
Yeah, I really like this choice to play the McCree with the Rhine comp over the Ashe. And a lovely delay here by the Justice.
You have to do this multiple times over. You've done it once. You have another 4 in the tank. The Justice being very highly aggressive, diving into the man backline, but the man, they shrug it off. They drop Nano on the BQB, Electric Cowboy, and really nothing happens good for the Justice there. And now about another minute about to be burned off the clock.
Yeah, this time Justice go for all-in aggression, which I can't blame them for. When you're heavily down ultimates, that tends to be the way to play. Just go super aggressive. Maybe the enemy team slips up. Maybe they miss a key cooldown, and you can just somehow either get a pick that forces the enemy to overall, or just
showing signs of life and keeping that streak alive. BQB in the back. Deadeye up. Great vantage point. Gargoyle already out of the fight. This is a little bit problematic for Florida. The Deadeye does not end up as well as they would have liked. BQB's still alive!
Batting him around, but the heals from Gangnam Jin somehow BQB's still alive!
How is he still here? Finally, BQB falls, but that was absurd! Still, the Justice are starting to bleed the man.
Arc does have the sound barrier to counter this Gravitic Flux. Nice bomb from Janu, though.
Or has Nano keep him alive. It was really nice from God, and now 2 down. The Justice might have their opportunity. The win streak about to be snapped in half. The beat out from Arc. And the Justice just need a little bit more. Gargoyle out, same with Chris. And the Justice just about there. The Mayhem running out of defenders. 1 tick already on the board, and the Justice chill out for now. So Washington not being too crazy in their engage, but now they decide to move in again. Winston and D.Va together, forcing Mayhem back just a bit. Both Widows still silent. Yaki, though, able to get on the tuba, and BQB gets some room to work with. So the Mayhem about to take this first fight as Roar is pretty far behind enemy lines.
Yeah, the pick off by
here.
Yaki on the tuba, though, that's a complete game changer because it just lets Yaki go wild. He's not scared of any other DPS flanking him, so winning that Echo duel, arguably just as important as the Widow duel. You know, if you take down your counterpart.
He is the focal point. The entire round rests on his Widow play, and Janu, a little bit far out, ends up getting caught by Yaki's BQB again! Strikes onto Aim God. The Mayhem are doing whatever they want, and you just cannot give a Widowmaker
this is why I talked about Widowmaker on Junkertown ZP. Construct as well from Janu over the top. That finally shuts down BQB. That's exactly what they needed. BQB stepped out of the Immortality field. Yaki trying to finish off his counterpart Echo, but she gets healed up, and it's actually Roar's Primal who's producing so much in this fight. Yaki doesn't really get much value at all, but he's fighting back in the Echo form. B as well comes down for the Justice. They're committing all in. It's final fight for them, so no real other option at this moment. Yaki with the Discord, or sorry, the Harmony Orb, still fighting it out, still being challenged though by multiple players. Looks like he's gonna get shut down. Does find a pick, and Justice somehow barely just edging this out. BQB strikes back though. Does not seem like the Florida Mayhem are willing to give this up without a fight. Quick shots force the copy as well to come out from the Justice. EMP as well forced from the attack, so this should be the Washington Justice taking this, but Gangnam Jin striking back? What is this? If Mayhem win this fight, I will be stunned. I mean, Justice are so far ahead on the attack, finally getting the cap. Okay, as expected, they do secure it, but it cost them absolutely everything. That's a complete reset on the attacker ult bank.
Translocating.
It's already final fight territory here on second point. They need to play it perfectly.
I appear to be back, for real this time, as BQB lands the Deadeye, takes down Aim God, and the Mayhem still wouldn't stop the Justice after nearly getting a point A hold. Justice will get at least one more good attempt at this.
Nice patience from the Mayhem. I think a lesser experienced team would have been too antsy there to quickly contest card, at near the choke of first point.
But the heart here is Justice down to their final 18 seconds as they continue to get pushed back.
Yeah, that's the definition of a wild flank there. And now Yaki charging in first on Winston and back on Echo does fall, but his team is right behind him and they get the cleanup. And as you said, I think this is all over here. Mayhem holding strong on second point. Maybe somebody can touch, but I don't even think that's likely.
No, it is looking very difficult, and the round just about over, and it's just so hard to actually come back. Janu in real danger, the front line just getting wrecked, and the Mayhem again setting the tempo here, even on the attack.
Yeah, it's just a really tough map to dive on. I mean, overall, I like the strategy. I think on most maps, it's going to be dominant, creating space for Echo, but now they're not even able to stop card, and It's actually the Mayhem that are pushing forward into that Winston D.Va. No success whatsoever for these tanks. Yaki, if he gets this pick off, might mean no defense on first.
Quick. And don't forget where the Justice have to defend in the middle of point B. This would be the greatest point B hold in Junkertown history.
Now that is a caster curse right there. Before you finish saying greatest in history, it's already over. So this is just a quick junk fight here for the defense, trying to charge up some ultimates, just kind of throwing their lives away, but you don't want to kill through. So the dive does come in by Roar, and he does charge up a quick Primal Rage, killing off BQB. Yaki, though, doesn't want to give up, is committing, and Stitch is caught all alone on this McCree. Tries to bait the Mega, but he actually dies. Too greedy by Stitch, and he's heavily punished. Now, Rally comes out, trancing the tank. When the Nano Boost comes online for Gangnam Jin, he's going to be able to easily counter Aim Gods. Unless Fates drops low, and a huge nade from Aim God. That's exactly what they needed to get back in this fight. So the Justice might stabilize unless Yaki has something to say about it. He is striking back. Nano onto Brig. The raid boss is here. Oh my word, you don't challenge this hero with a Nano on her. It's not something that's achievable in the game of Overwatch. Rally almost online as well, so capture control ticking up. Roar, he just doesn't have the shields to make the contest work. Still, though, BQB in full control, and at this point, just clean up here for the Mayhem. Justice, they're scattering to the winds. Gonna have to go back and most likely gonna force some sort of ultimate response. Actually not getting too much out of the Gravitic Flux, and it's Stitch pushing in with the high noon. Huge noon, picks up 2 as well. So now, continuously, the Justice just marching forward. I mean, those 2 kills, that has to end the fight there, and that's exactly what the Justice needed to stabilize. Roar naded on 1 HP. Ooh, Chris with the follow-up does give his life for it, but picking off Roar, once again, another taxi for the Justice, so potentially a bit of a power play coming in. Copy to counter, so Yaki has to find a new target. He's just not getting too much out of this Nano. Ooh, but there, he finds something. That is what he needed, and now the much more dangerous copy comes in. What a fire strike on an Aim God! Shuts down the heals in the backline. He doesn't even need to get a shatter with this copy. He can just shield up, block the backline, but this is the power of the copy. You could just play totally fearless, utilize that second life utility, and everyone strong fight for them. But Gangnam Jim and Chris, if they can get their ultimates online, they can easily bridge the gap, and High Noon still gets value through the beat. So much charge up for BQB. This could be a point capture here for the Florida Mayhem. Now, Gargoyle poking from a great off angle. Gonna quickly have his ultimate. Shatter out from Roar, but finds nothing, I believe. Completely stifled by Fate, showing his experience on the Reinhardt. It's Janu actually to get the first Gravitic Flux, but this has to be too little too late. There's no positional advantage whatsoever for the Washington Justice. Mayhem just sweeping forward off the back of that huge opening pick. So now Yaki, once again, back farming his ultimates, and this is just a story we've seen all match long. When Mayhem play these sort of Rhine comps, they're just getting so much more value. The one time Justice felt like the mid, so it's actually a bit of a role reversal here, but I don't know if the Justice have scouted this, and the rally is going to enable them to push aggressively. Gravitic Flux is going to control for Fate, and Fate's able to clean up for that one. Now it's Arc who's caught off alone on the Brig, not even remotely close to his rally. Fate has Shatter, doesn't even need to use it, does find his counterpart in the enemy Rhine. Just an excess of ult here for the offense. Copy comes in from Tuba, but he's just in delay mode here, instantly shut down. There's no way Echo can really solo play her way out of this one, especially with all the armor on the side of the Mayhem, and they do capture the point with 2:53 remaining. This is a really impressive offense from the Florida Mayhem side. Justice just on the back foot all game long. There was a little moment there on second point where they stabilized, but just so difficult to evict from this high ground, and just being a bit pesky here as it's going to be Roar trying to touch point and force Fate to make a move, which he does, and Fate looks actually very isolated here. Must have got booped off onto the low ground. I'm not sure why he dropped like that.
Yeah. He was playing off to the left-hand side, and the Justice managed for the Mayhem, but now they need to execute the retake. Stitch playing back, and the Justice cleverly disengage half the team, at least keep the DPS
BQB
away.
Comes out on top,
BQB could be in trouble.
Counter.
All right, Jake,
Roger that.
we're not
back
in
to the
6,
Wrath
so
God status.
you got the rest of
Yaki
the
takes
game.
full control of this engagement. BQB, though, off the back of that, that's a classic moment of McCree's, right? You both flash each other. Super aggressively, does get countered, but now everyone is low on the side of the Justice. I don't expect the Mayhem to let off the gas anytime soon. Ant Matrix comes in, but Stitch able to find the counter, pick up that Echo. Somebody had to do it. He's able to make it happen. Big nade, though, and the sleep from Gangnam Jin, taking down that enemy McCree. Now it's his time to be the hit scan player as combos with Chris to finish off Tuba, and now Mayhem in full control of this game. It's only whatever they want, and so far they've been holding so effectively on the corner, cycling ultimates one after another. Now it's the high noon. But this time Fate is actually overextended, caught alone as well with Chris, so being a bit overconfident there, maybe not expecting AimGod to have his Transcendence up so quickly in this fight. That should be first control going the way of the Justice. It's not over yet though, the Mayhem. Still though, Stitch charging forward, trying to keep pressure on the enemy Reinhardt. But once again, Yaki with the nano in the backline, diving in so aggressively with the Sigma. Gravitic Flux cleans up absolutely everybody. Gargoyle and Yaki, such superstars for this team. Huge pickups and showing their worth here more than ever. So Janu and Stitch really so far not able to. Flashbang missed as well. Gargoyle is caught alone though by the high noon isolation, so it works out for the Justice overall. Yaki though doesn't want to give up. He's Ryan. Huge shatter in the backline. Yaki charging in, gets the pickup on his own, solo carrying this fight, somehow keeping it interesting. Another shatter! The classic Echo, he's popping off. I don't know if it's enough. A third one! Yaki, God, he's going crazy in the backline. My mic's certainly peaking, but I can't control my excitement as Mayhem is clinging for dear life to this fight. There's no way they can win it. But BQB, somehow Tuba gets over aggressive, and it's BQB striking back with the help of Gangnam Jin. Oh, things have gone from bad to worse for the Justice. Even when they win a fight, Mayhem had no fear. BKB going in with like 1 or 2 teammates. He just says, give me the nano. It's time to pop off. Absolutely no respect, but should have respected AimGod there. Huge 5 warp to the head. Shuts down BKB finally. Somebody had to do it, but does give his life for the privilege. So once again, no clear advantage for the Justice, even when things start to look the wrong hero there. Easy to do in a chaotic fight on Echo. So once again, it's Mayhem's pressure on the flank that is really disrupting the backline. BKB finds a pickup onto AimGod, and he's going even deeper. He has no respect in the backline with Chris. Perfect situation. BQB, he's so sharp on the McCree, and it's Yaki getting all the cleanup with the focusing beam. Mayhem gonna close out the series here, and it's a 3-1 for the Florida Mayhem. Looking so dominant. Minor hiccup there on Hanamura, but everything else is coming up Florida Mayhem. They lost the map streak, but if you're a fan of the Florida Mayhem, you don't care whatsoever.
To stay up to date with all things Overwatch League, make sure to check out one of our other recap videos.